Okay, can pick her up. Hey everybody, it's Dennish and welcome to Living Your Best Life. I want to welcome my dynamic duo today, Jonathan. Hello and thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
And I do believe we have Jamie PK from Texas on the line.
She's there.
Jamie, you there?
She's there.
Well, I'm going to start the show. We'll catch up with Jamie when she gets on there. First, I want to welcome you to all come in. Our topic today is life, enjoy the journey. Feel free to call in with how you're enjoying your journey at 609-807-2492. And I'm going to tell you up front right now, I am enjoying my journey of life, but I have come down after my 5-day adventure in California last week with a sinus infection, so I'm a little under the weather today. But I made a commitment to Hamilton Radio to do this show every week. I made a commitment to myself to continue trying to help others live a positive life and live their best life. And I made a commitment to all of you who listen every week and support our show. So on that note, I'd like to get started. Jamie, are you there?
Somebody's there. They're there waiting for you.
I can't hear her.
Hold on, let me see what I can do. Hold on. Give me a second.
Okay.
We're okay.
We're all okay.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Jamie.
Hi, I've been here saying hello.
Now we
You
can
guys
hear
can
you.
hear
We
me at
we can
first?
we can hear
Well,
you
I'm
now.
sorry you're not feeling well today, Anne.
I don't think you are either, my friend. We had quite a week last week, didn't we?
I was going to say, I think mine is more exhaustion from 3 weddings in less than 6 months. My son got married in November. I got married last week, and my beautiful daughter is getting married this Saturday. So it has been lots of love and wedding bliss, but lots of planning and coordinating and flying from here to there and whatnot.
I can understand that. I can understand that. And for all of you listening, I'm going to let Jamie talk about it more when she's ready. But I was lucky enough to be at Jamie's wedding last week. We left Jonathan home, and Jamie and I were out in California. She was there a little longer than me. I was there for 5 days. It was a beautiful thing to share in Jamie and Shiloh's wedding. I also spent some time with my older son, Eric, and his girl, Sophia. I was able to spend time with my nephew, Shawn Weatherspoon, his fiance, and their gorgeous little boy, Nash. It was a whirlwind 3 days out of the 5 days I was there. So it's no wonder I'm exhausted and I have a little bit of a sinus infection. But like I said, I have a strong commitment to the show, and I think all three of us have a strong commitment to doing what we do here.
Hi, Jamie. How are you?
Yes, I agree.
It's Mrs. Harris this week.
What?
Yes, Mrs.
It's
Harris.
Mrs. Harris
so
this
odd,
week.
Right?
So I can call you like Mrs. Jamie Harris?
Well, oddly enough, I have joy in my last name, PK. I love being a Panizza. The Italian heritage is deep inside me. So, I don't mind being called Mrs. Harris. I don't mind being married to Shiloh, but I'll probably stay with Jamie PK.
Okay. So Jamie PK it is, and I'll just call you. I'll just call you Jamie. I missed you guys
That
last
sounds
week.
good.
We missed you last week, but truthfully, Jamie, how would we have even called in on that show? We had such a whirlwind week in California.
Oh, goodness.
It was incredible.
And everybody was so beautiful. And, to the audience out there and Jonathan and everybody else, we can't share much about the wedding.
Right.
It is going to be televised on Lifetime in July. We don't even know the air date, but David Tutera put together the most gorgeous wedding I have ever attended in my life. And being the princess, me marrying her prince, was above and beyond anything I could ever dream of. And I cannot wait to see pictures and the show.
Oh, I can't wait
I
either.
myself haven't even seen, I mean, besides looking in the mirror, haven't been able to see anything from the wedding but what we physically experienced, because everything went so fast. And there were surprises after surprises, surprises for Shiloh, surprises for Shiloh and I, surprises for me. I just can't wait for it to air or to share with everybody.
I can't wait to see it either. I have to tell you, it was the most amazing. I call it the chance of a lifetime. Literally, it was, no pun intended. It really was a once in a lifetime experience. And it was for me as well, the most beautiful wedding I've ever seen. I don't even know where that man comes up with these ideas, because right from your dress, which you actually look like a princess all night long. Like I told you, you looked like you were floating all night long. It was absolutely beautiful. And the whole wedding was just, it was one unbelievable moment after another. Just where you thought, oh, this is really great, couldn't get any better. It got better, and it got better, and it got better all night long.
Thank you. I agree. It did. It was marvelously done. The bridesmaids' dresses were gorgeous. Men, all so elegant. The nonprofits on our website, boundlessspiritinternational.com, you can go there, and there's a Happily Hitched PK Harris page or tab. And in there, it shows engagement pictures and information about the wedding that we're allowed to share. But it also honors two nonprofits. Instead of wedding gifts, we asked for people to donate to two nonprofits. So they were both there. One was the best man. The other one presented us with a surprise gift. So there were amazing things that happened all evening, and we really appreciate these nonprofits being a part of our life. They helped with the wedding. They helped with getting family out to the wedding. And then, of course, we would love for people to honor them and give a little donation, even if it's $10, $5, anything helps, because it's all for veterans and their families.
That's a nice cause. It's like we always say, it's time to make a difference, and we can make a difference together.
Yes,
so
you're absolutely right.
I guess we're going to look forward to seeing this when? You don't know exactly, or is it in July?
We do not. So originally, irony, living the best life you can live, we originally were supposed to air it live. And a week before our wedding, we got a phone call from the television station asking if it was okay that they record the wedding instead. They wanted to tape it and then air it in July. So we are waiting for the network to make a decision about when the airing will take place, because, of course, they already have contracts with other shows.
Right.
So it will air in July sometime. And as soon as we know, of course, we'll talk about it on the radio show. And then we'll also have it on the Boundless Spirit International page. And Dennish will be posting it on her Facebook page. And I'm sure, Jonathan, you'll be happy to share our links as well.
Of course. That's what I live for. Getting, since we can't talk much about your wonderful life right now, let's get back to living your best life with Ann Dennish. And I know a little bit, but I don't know a lot. So why don't you tell us about how going to California affected your life's purpose?
Well, aside from the sinus infection that I have, which
that really wasn't what I was focused on.
I know. But, when you talk about life, enjoy the journey, there's a lot you don't know, Jamie. And I had written an article I was going to share on my post about my experience meeting you in Shiloh in California. And I'm a person that's always willing to step out of my box. Here I traveled alone to California. And the craziest thing, and we didn't get to talk too much about it, was when I was out running around town the day I flew in. I walk into the lobby of the hotel, and there's Jamie looking like the most beautiful woman in her tiara, all filled with love and light and this great energy. And, keeping in mind, Jamie and I had never met in person before. So I was like, oh, this is a sign. This is how the whole week is going to go. And the next morning, she had texted me to have breakfast with you and Shiloh. And I was still in my pajamas up in the hotel room. And part of me was a little like, should I go? Should I not go? And I thought, you know what? Hold to what you believe in. Step out of your box. I threw on some clothes, had no makeup, brushed my hair, went down and met you in Shiloh. And I am so grateful I did that, because I not only met your aunt and Shiloh's mom, I met Jackie and her husband, and I ended up being their third wheel all night long at the wedding, and the three of us had an amazing time. So you talk about enjoying the journey. Yeah, there was a little bit of anxiety there for me. You're by yourself. You're going to a wedding where you really don't know anybody. But I'll tell you, once you step out of your box, this is how you enjoy the journey of your life. Always being open to new experiences, meeting new people, trying something new. And you know what? If you get there and it doesn't work, you can always go home. But it was just a whirlwind trip for me. Your wedding started everything. I made new friends throughout the night at your wedding. And then it got even better when I went out with my son and his girl and my nephew the next night for dinner. And was even better on Thursday when my nephew and the baby picked me up. We were at Santa Monica Pier all day long. I got to share a lot of deep conversation with my nephew. He's very similar to us, spreading positivity out into the world, and got to really reconnect with him on a one-on-one basis. So this is what I'm trying to tell people. You could have a sinus infection. You could be tired. You could just have a little anxiety kicking in. It's so important to just take a leap of faith sometimes, and just take a leap of faith in yourself. What's the worst that could happen? If something doesn't work out, you learned an experience. For me, I was so grateful for every single moment of my 5 days in California. It's no wonder I have a sinus infection and jet lag and feel tired.
Why don't you talk about your nephew? Who's your nephew?
Oh, my nephew is Shawn Weatherspoon. He is an amazing nephew of mine. I call him my dreamer nephew. He's a Pisces like I am. He's the owner of Round 2 stores. He has Round 2 stores in Virginia, Miami, California, New York City, and soon to be opening one in Chicago. He does the Round 2 show. It's a reality show that he tapes himself and has up once a month. That has behind the scenes of all the stores. And he was the designer of last year's Nike Air Max sneaker. He's a kid that I aspire to be like him. He's not afraid to try something new, and he's never stopped trying to turn his dreams into a reality. And I think it was really cool. And just to see him with his 2-year-old son Nash it was wonderful. The whole week was absolutely wonderful. And then to fly home, I also had my birthday out there. Fly home on my birthday to be with my family was really cool. It was cool. It was a perfect week.
It sounded, I know I talked to you during the week, and it did sound like a really good week for you. It was hectic, and I know it made you tired, and you don't feel well today, but I'm glad you came out to do the show. I'm glad to hear from Jamie again. Excuse me.
Well, Jamie, I have to ask you, did anything change for you being out in California? I know I came home much more driven, much more focused on my career and the radio show and doing what I want to do, and much more balanced. I felt like I tired and all is one thing, but I felt more balanced, like more how to do things in a better way and to really start going after my own dreams. I want to say it was a self-discovery, a self-reflection out there, and a time to just come back to me for a little bit and decide where to go next. I was wondering if you felt the same when you were there.
Well, it's funny that you ask that. So the thing that I think for me was there was so much wedding preparation and stress, even though, yes, the wedding show, they gave us a wedding. I mean, they scheduled the venue, they took care of the food and entertainment and the decorations, the bridesmaids' clothes, and my clothes. There was still so much coordination and preparation, getting all of our kids there that we could get there. We have 7.
Right.
There was so much coordination in getting the
7
pasture
what?
out there because we wanted our own pasture.
Yeah, 7 kids.
Getting many of the details that they required. And, of course, because it's a lot of television recordings, we had to give them pictures and videos and so much in the months leading up to the wedding. Then my son's wedding and my daughter's wedding. Finally, when the wedding day came, I just felt so much peace, so relaxed. I don't think anything, even if something went wrong, I don't think anything could burst my bubble at that point.
No, you were so calm when we met for breakfast that morning. I was really surprised. It's not your typical, that's what a bride looks like when she's about to go on television to be married. You were very calm.
Thank you.
I would
Thank
know
you.
that's
Yeah, everybody kept saying, when are you going to lose it? Well, you said you met Jacqueline, which is really funny. This morning when you called, or you and I talked, she called 10 minutes later.
Oh, she was great. I had such a good time with her. I was really grateful to meet her.
Well, maybe one time, since she just lives right down the road, we'll have her on the show. She's a breath of fresh air always.
She sure is. And funny, very funny. We
so
laughed all night.
Yes, she's very funny. She cracks me up all the time. So after the wedding, the next day there was still, a lot of family and final things we needed to take care of. And then, of course, we were given all these clothes. We were given things that we needed to bring home.
Wow.
So we had to coordinate getting those things shipped back, or extra luggage we had brought with us to bring back. And once we got all that settled, I felt like I could relax, just like you.
Mm-hmm.
I came home very driven. The stress of weddings had finally been relieved. Every day I'm back to my routines of meditating, working out, conducting my meal planning, being able to be in the present. And I've been working on books and journals and newsletters that we're supposed to have going out. So, yes, I agree. Just like you, it provided a lot of insight to how we needed to stay focused. And just like you had said before, we talk about keeping positivity in our life and taking care of ourselves. Self-care is the most important
Sure
to being
is.
able to live. And you and I originally had talked about, we can call in from California, we can do it. And then you reminded me, no, everybody needs to recharge their batteries. Everybody needs a vacation. And that's what you and I did. We took a vacation. And that's why we came back so charged, so energized, so prepared.
Absolutely. I think we would have been exhausted last Thursday to do a radio show.
I'd have done it from Universal Studios. I know they didn't pay me to give that pitch, but we went to Universal Studios on Thursday. We had a little fun time with the two youngest kids and rode roller coasters and saw theater and tours and did a whole bunch of fun stuff.
That's fun. I was at Santa Monica Pier all day up on the Ferris wheel, which I don't usually get on, but I thought, well, we're stepping out of the box this week, so get on there. And it was great. And that was a beautiful day Thursday. It was warmer, the sun was out, because California was a little chilly when I first got in there.
What?
It was chilly. You're right. We did the Ferris wheel too. I'm a little terrified of heights, but I did it as well. So both you and I conquered a lot of things last week.
We sure did. I got myself out of, I shouldn't say I conquered fears, but I did things I normally would overthink or be apprehensive about that I thought, oh, just do it. What do you got to lose? And it really made the journey very enjoyable, I have to say, and that's part of what I talk to everybody about and part of what we're saying. I mean, even for you, Jamie, we've talked about you having this wedding. You stepped out of your box, certainly. Who could imagine that? And look at how wonderful it all turned out.
It did. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
So let's turn the page.
What page are we going to?
We're going to
Back to the beginning, middle,
back
or
to
the
very
end?
I don't know. Your life's purpose. So you, Anne, this question is for you first. coming back from California, did your life's purpose change, or are you refocused on the same purpose? It's not a trick.
No, I think I'm refocused on the same person, which is having some kind of public forum to get the word out on a larger scale other than followers on Instagram or social media, to help people through and to let them know they can get through a rough time, because the three of us have certainly not had an easy road all through our lives. And we sit here and tell about our stories of how we got through and positivity. And I think I just came home driven. I will always write books, but I think I'm more driven to do the public speaking and to want to decide how to get out in the world a little more, how to have one-on-one time of my own with people that want to chat with me once a week, one-on-one. That's what I'd love to do. So the focus was more driven on how to put myself out there, how to get to really shoot this radio show through the roof, because I think we help a lot of people who listen to this show.
So I think about this personally, and Jamie, I know you're listening, and I want to hear what you have to say about this. Every once in a while, you forget what your life's purpose is. A lot of our life's purpose is based on how we were brought up, and we live to die. A lot of that has to do with religion, and I don't want to get into that. But, we live a life for a future promise instead of living a purposeful life that helps others. And I think one of the things that we all want to do is have a positive impact on people that we touch. For better or for worse. I mean, some people we touch, we wish we hadn't touched.
That's the, circle of life. Some people come in for a lifetime or just to teach you a lesson or teach you something about yourself.
So your purpose, I guess we're all focused on being positive. Our host here has made a point lately of getting rid of negativity. And if you're negative, I don't even want to talk to you. Gene. But, when I listen to him say those things, I realize, you know what? There is no point in dwelling on the negative. There is nothing in it for anybody. So moving forward, if your sole purpose in life is just to be positive, that all by itself is going to have a tremendous impact on those whose lives you touch. Your thoughts. I just quit. So it's either Jamie or Ann.
Go ahead, Jamie. You want that one?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that question? Again, I broke out of coverage for a second.
I'm focusing on him saying...
Are you kidding me? You know how hard that was?
He was talking about...
I heard most of it, but towards the tail end. You said about the focusing on our purpose in life, but I didn't hear the ending there.
Okay, so I guess my question is, I really wasn't. I was just looking for a comment. My opinion was that our purpose.
Did you have a question in there?
Is to affect those we touch positively and get rid of negativity, no matter what. And that's a hard choice sometimes. But if you think about it, if we do nothing else and we start with the foundation of being positive and being productive, then the mark we leave behind will be beneficial to anybody whose lives we touch. Being negative, being critical, being negatively critical serves no purpose. So having a positive purpose it really makes you want to get up and get going, even when we don't feel good. And
That's true.
Of course, of course. And here's when I think I first noticed that, and I think everybody in life has a realization to that at a different point in their life. Even the worst criminals eventually realize positivity and honesty is the way to live. And it might not be until they're on their deathbed. But
Right.
everybody eventually comes to that realization. I was young when I came to that realization. And I think it was because I realized that we can go at any time. And you know, there's that proverb that on a grave site it gives the date you were born and the date your body perished. And it's how you live that dash in between that matters.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So at what point do you decide, or how often in life do you have to recalibrate your body, mind, spirit, and heart to remember that dash is what matters and making that dash matter?
As many times as it takes.
I-
I'll tell you that right up front.
Exactly.
I agree. I call them the
It's-
waking
it's-
up moments. They're waking up moments. You
Yes!
suddenly wake up one
Just
morning
like
and
your
you're
book.
like, what? Exactly. That's where the title came from for that book. It's like, it's a waking up moment like, oh, wait a minute. Like you were asking, Jonathan, in the beginning about how do we lose sight of our life purpose? It's because we lose our balance until we have that morning or afternoon. We're like, oh, wait a minute. I forgot. I forgot what I was doing. And we have it's a waking up moment. It's an epiphany moment of, oh, I forgot all to do this and I lost focus on what I should have been focusing on. And I guess I could say I had my waking up moment in California.
Oh, another one of them. And I'm sure. And we all have different moments for that.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest thing is, I look at it this way. How many people, or who are the people in your life you want to aspire to be like? You just said your nephew. He's one of those people that when you grow up, you want to be like him.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's one of my favorite lines. Oh, when I grow up, I want to be like you.
I know.
I want to be like a 4-year-old some days because they have so much energy and they're so happy. It's like, oh my gosh, could you hand over some of that?
I know, you're not kidding.
Well, back to, I look at the people that I want to grow up to be like. And the characteristics and the motivation they have is what I try to embrace and then recalibrate who I am to be like them. And I'm not saying I'm copying them. I'm trying to take the positive energy, the motivation they have, and the characteristics they have, because most of the time they have the most amount of friends, and people are attracted to them like magnets.
Right.
So,
And that's what I want. Not that I want people to be attracted to me. What I want is I want people to feel good around me. I want people to want me to be in their tribe or want to be in my tribe.
Well, you know
I
what?
want
Go ahead.
everybody to have the positivity.
Well, you know what the point of that is too. You always know those people. They make you want to be your best sense of self. They can somehow bring out that drive in you. They bring such positivity to you that they make you believe in yourself sometimes when you need it the most, and they bring out the best in you.
Right.
we've all
Yep.
been, I hope we've all been, or had the privilege of being with somebody that inspires you, or when you're with them and you listen to what they have to say, you're just enamored, and you get lost in them. And look, I've been around the block a few times, and not a lot of things surprise me, but when I am surprised, I'm grateful, because it makes me think, okay, whatever's behind you is behind you. Live today and look forward to tomorrow. Don't dread tomorrow. Look forward to tomorrow and do whatever you have to do to have that attitude. I mean, I've been in the presence of people, and I don't want to. Some of them are pretty famous, but they were brilliant. They were brilliant in their business life, and they were brilliant in the way they expressed themselves and the positive energy that they gave to others, including me. And whenever I feel like I've lost my purpose, which I've lost a few times, I think about those times, and I realize how grateful I was to have them, because it made me reset myself.
Yeah, well, Jamie and I say that all the time. You rediscover the self that you kind of lost sight of. It's self-discovery. It's great. You have a moment where you're reminded of who you are, who you used to be, that you lost sight of a little bit.
And whenever you rediscover your purpose, you have hope. Mm-hmm. And when you have hope, you're able to give hope to other people. And there's a lot of satisfaction in that. What do you think?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
I
just threw you right under the bus because I ran out of things to say.
Wait, what? I'm sorry, I zoned out a little bit. What did you say?
I just ran out of things to say, so I threw it out.
Okay, Jonathan, back to the self-discovery. When you had your Alive Day recognition, I think it was 3 weeks ago on the radio, mm-hmm. We had 2 other guests that talked about their Alive Days. Yeah. And after a traumatic experience, whether it's a a near-death experience from a car accident, a disease, an explosion, drowning, fire, whatever it is, any traumatic experience someone has, it takes anywhere from 2 to 12 years to rediscover who you are from that tragedy, because that tragedy alters your life, whether you had to take off work or whether you lost limbs or lost one of your senses. You have to rediscover who you are. After a divorce, anything traumatic in your life takes 2 to 12 years to self-discovery.
I'd believe that.
2 to 12? I'm not going to live that long.
2 to...
Oh. It's living your best life over there.
Take it easy, Jamie.
Positivity.
Stay with the 2.
Thanks for being on the show today, Jonathan.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm leaving now.
Jamie, I got this.
Yeah, thanks.
Who told you that? I got to go reset now. I'll be back.
Okay, we'll see you in a few years.
Thanks. Go ahead, sorry.
You going for the full 12, or are you going to try to get it done in a shorter amount of time?
I got to go for a walk. Go ahead, Jamie. I'm sorry.
Well, you stopped him in his tracks, Jamie.
2 to 12.
And
sounds like a
go
life
ahead
sentence.
And cue in on self-discovery now. I guess, Jonathan, are you telling me that I need to take that knife out?
Yeah, please.
Well, he's all screwed up now. We've lost him for the rest of the next half hour.
I'll be all right. Yeah. Give me a minute. and you talk. You talk while I take that minute.
He's going to sit in the corner and do his self-discovery as quickly as possible.
I'm gonna play a game on my phone.
Actually, it's funny. You're talking about playing a game on your phone. When in Shiloh and I's book, hopefully to be released this year, we talk about when you have a negative experience, or you woke up after you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, or you got bad news, and it's really hard to recalibrate yourself. It is so important to have a toolbox with you at all times to help recalibrate your thought process so you can get back to being positive or just being level, just to get you out of that negative funk. So it's funny that you say you're going to play a game on your phone, because that is actually meditative for people, therapeutic for people, and helps recalibrate settings in their mind, body, heart, and spirit.
That's what, and I'm glad you brought that up, because that's part of what I wanted to talk about today, because you and I have talked about this before. I think everybody has their own way of handling those situations. Me, I like to wait 24 hours and process a bad mood or process whatever happened and see why it bothered me, if it's worth a conversation within 24 hours. And I'm the first person to admit to, if I'm not having a good day, I will let whoever is in the house with me at the time know it's not a good day and give fair warning. But so go ahead, Jamie. Tell us what's in your toolbox, Jamie.
Your tribe,
wow.
your tribe is in your
That's a whole,
toolbox.
that's a whole nother radio show.
Travel, as much as I travel, sometimes it's hard to be able to pull some of those tools out.
Well,
on television.
I'm sorry, but the people around you are probably the biggest tool, or the biggest tool.
Yeah, that.
My brother used to call me the biggest tool.
Yeah, I was going to say, I used to think a tool, calling a person a tool is a bad thing.
It had a negative connotation to it.
Yeah, but he only called me that because he loved me. But really, so in your toolbox are the people who you surround yourself with, and they help you. I think mostly those people and the depth of field helps you get through those times. I guess when you shut yourself off from those people is when you put yourself in peril of losing your purpose. And sometimes it's hard to open up to people and let them know that you're not really in a good spot. And they can either help you by leaving you alone, 24-hour girl. The 24-hour word girl is who I sit next to right here. So you can either do it that way, or just hold up your hands and say, hey, I need somebody to talk to, just to talk you through the things that are distracting you from your life's purpose, to get rid of the negativity. Hopefully it won't take 12 years, Jamie. But you can get back on track. So a couple of weeks ago, I wasn't here, and I really didn't want to talk about this too much, and I probably still don't, but my uncle passed away. So he lived a great life. He was an inspiration, and he died in a really dignified way. And he was happy. He was in pain and smiling. Not many people know this, but he was the best man. He was my best man at my wedding. So when he passed, it really left a void. And I was shut down that week. I talked to Ann about it on the phone.
Right. That's why we said don't even come in for the show that day.
Yeah, I was going to try, and I couldn't collect my thoughts that day. But within a day or two, between my cousin and my sister and my brother, who I don't talk to that often, they kind of reeled me back in and made me realize that, when somebody passes, you feel bad for yourself more than you feel bad for the person that passed. Well, you know what? Don't feel bad for yourself. If you want to be positive about it, see, that video game worked really well. If you want to be positive about things, take the best of everything you learned from an individual like that.
Exactly.
And collect it and own it.
Let it become a part of you.
And make that part of your life's purpose. Mm-hmm. How was that, Jamie?
Well, I think that was absolutely beautiful. You're doing a great job.
See, I feel better now. It only took 20 minutes. It didn't take 12 years.
I think that's a great story, though, because you know what? When you look, the one thing I think we all hope for in life is to leave a good impression on somebody when we're not here. You know, to be able to live a lifetime where you are missed and where people remember wonderful stories about you and memories that last a lifetime. I think that's the greatest gift of all. I mean, we all are going to pass it sometime. That's for certain. So there you go. Live the best life you can and be an inspiration to others. You know, make somebody's day. These are the things people are going to remember. And I know you've talked to me about your uncle before, and as sad as it was, he left his life just as he lived it.
He absolutely did. He absolutely did. He died with dignity and a smile on his face. I said to Ann the other day, I was visiting him, and his family was around him, and the TV was on, and my sister and I were talking with my Ann about whatever is about to happen, and he's just taking it all in. He was almost 90 years old, taking it all in, totally present. And if he heard something negative, my cousin said something derogatory about somebody on TV that had nothing to do with us or anything, and he looked at her and he said, "Now that's not very nice." And here's a man that was at that time 2 weeks away from passing away, and all he could think was positive thoughts. So the lesson is get rid of the negativity, avoid negativity. You have to have a shield against negativity and be positive.
That's called setting your boundaries. That's what that is.
Yeah.
And it's going to come. I guess the key to it, Jamie and I have talked about this before. You know, you're going to come up against it. It's sometimes more often than not. The key, though, is how you're going to handle it and what you're going to do about it.
You don't want to let it shut you down, or distract you from your purpose. I know it takes me a long time to tell the story, but the point really is.
We weren't going to say that, but go ahead.
Well, I'm looking at the clock. So, and I'm thinking about some other business, but the reality is you don't want the negative things to distract you from your life's purpose, provided that you're on a path of positivity. If you're not on a path of positivity, then you might want to rethink your position. But the reality is being able to remain positive and stay on the path, on whatever the path you have. Yeah, I'm good with that.
That was quick. That wasn't that long.
You forget the rest of it. You tune me out.
Just that's the antibiotics speaking.
What do you think, Jamie?
I think that you summed that up so quickly that I bet you there's more going on in that head of yours, isn't there?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty scary in there.
You've been talking to Jamie and I too long.
Yeah.
We get into everybody's head eventually, don't we, Jamie?
That is pretty scary.
In a positive way.
Think about my life is I talked to Ann Dennish, and who I've known since I was a child, and Jamie PK, who I've never met, and they have the most influence over my life lately.
Oh wow, that's a nice compliment. Well, imagine me just.
That was so sweet.
It was very, and imagine me meeting Jamie just for the first time last week.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
We'd never met in person, and here we've been the closest of friends for so long now. It's like second nature to us. It almost even wasn't that strange to run into her in the hotel lobby, because I've seen her on social media. We talk on the phone so often. I'm like, well, look at that. There she is in all her glory.
And you're so sweet to say that, but I look so dashing.
You did, and your tiara and everything. You look beautiful. You looked radiant. You really looked radiant.
I did see the tiara. I saw a picture of it, and I was wondering if there's a picture of that tiara on Shiloh's fabulous head.
Oh, that's a great idea. We should probably do that.
I
That
I
actually was
would.
given to me by my matron of honor.
Oh God, it was but it was perfect for that day, just perfect.
Yeah, we had it on our bridal weekend that I gave all of my bridesmaids and Shiloh's mom and my mom. I booked a hotel in downtown San Antonio, actually the most haunted hotel in the world. And they put us on the most haunted floor.
How cool is
I
that?
requested that. And we all stayed downtown on the Riverwalk near the Alamo. We did a painting party. We went out to dinner, and then the next day I had them pampered. We had 4 estheticians come, and everybody got manis and pedis, facials, and then we had 2 massage therapists. And then I gave them a beach bag, a beach towel, and an embroidered shirt to wear, over their clothes or to wear with pajama bottoms on the day of the wedding so they could get their makeup and hair done.
Nice.
So, yeah, that's where I got my tiara, was that weekend. I was the little princess. And then, of course, my wedding dress,
Oh, that was
and the way they did my hair, it was gorgeous. My tiara was not worn at the wedding.
no, but that dress was unbelievable. I couldn't get over that. It was absolutely beautiful. There's not many words to describe it other than, like I said earlier, you were like floating in it. It was effortless on you, the way you glided across the floor and down the aisle in that dress. It was definitely meant for you.
I got to tell you, I did.
Thank you. It actually can be purchased on David Tatera's website. It's called the Jamie dress.
Of course.
And then the jewelry that I wore is now called the Jamie jewelry set. And all of that can be purchased on his website. You can also see it on his Facebook page. And we will share that link. It's actually on our Boundless Spirit link and on my link, my Facebook link.
And I have to say, not that I'm going to say much about it, but he really is a sweetheart of a man. What a kind soul he is. I got to talk to him for a little while, and what a sweetheart he is.
He's amazing. So after the show airs, I can share some specialties about him. But yes, I think he's in the right field, in the right position. His soul is clearly an old soul. He's very generous. He's genuine. He truly sits and observes someone and listens to them and feels every inch of their energy and soul and heart to be able to create the magic for them for their wedding or whatever celebration he's coordinating for them. He truly has a gift. When I grow up, I would love to be even a portion of what he is.
Yeah,
he's amazing.
He really was.
And his life partner is Joey, is just as amazing. I finally got to meet him, and that was a blessing. I just, the two of them are a love model for so many people.
They love life. I mean, you can see somebody, a personality on TV, and they look great, and then sometimes you're scared to meet them in person because there are some personalities. I've met 1 or 2 years ago that were not anything that they were on TV, but I have to say he was everything and more. He certainly did not disappoint. He was everything and more I've ever seen on anything he's done with Lifetime TV. Absolutely.
I agree.
I don't know him, but something you said, Jamie, about him that I was waiting to hear was that he was genuine.
He was genuine. He really is. He's very down to earth, I thought.
So he's found his purpose.
Yes, he has.
And he's living his best life. So when you say you want to be him, or whenever we say we want to be somebody when we grow up, that's the kind of person you want to be when you grow up. Somebody who's found their life's purpose, who is a genuine person, and cares about others, because excuse me, you said that he listens and he wants the best for you. Now, I don't think you can get any more positive than a person that listens and wants the best for you. That's somebody you want to, those are the type of people you want to surround yourself with, because
Exactly.
not not in a selfish way, but it is kind of selfish. If you want to live your best life, you want to surround yourself with positive people who want the best for you.
I'm going to stop you there because we don't use that word selfish. That's being selfless because you're putting yourself as a priority. I don't like to say selfish because you know what? Being diligent about your tribe and who you surround yourself with and how you conduct your life and how you want to keep it positive is selfless in taking care of yourself. Now go think about that.
All right, going back to my
great.
video
Now
game.
Jonathan, now we lost him again. He's got to play one of his video games.
Yeah,
I
hold
know.
on. Let me see. Let me just check Instagram.
Boy, Jamie and I got you good today.
Yeah, really.
This
is what jet lag does to Jamie and I. Watch out now.
Golly, exactly.
You guys need a nap.
Talking about jet lag, it wasn't just jet lag. If you think about it, Nancy, we went through not only time zones, but time change.
Yes.
So when I left
that's
my
right.
home in San Antonio, Texas, and went to California, I sprung ahead that night, plus had the 2-hour time change. Then when I came home, it was very difficult to get back into the groove because of jet lag and also the time change.
Yeah, I had forgotten about that too because it was a 3-hour time difference for me, then adding the extra hour. And I'm like, I hope I stay awake for Jamie's wedding because I just got to California Monday. And I'm like, it's going to be like being at, midnight, our time at home. But you know what? Strangely enough, the time change, all of that didn't bother me at all. I felt like I was still going, aside from your wedding night, of course, I was still going to bed at a normal hour, getting up early in the morning. I think it hit me when I got home because, like I said, it was such an incredible week. And just an incredible, I know for me, part of the journey of my life. It was just, I have so many things and I've been dying to sit down at the computer, but the sinus infection, the creativity has not been flowing as well as it should. But there's so many things I want to share with everybody. And with you, Jamie, when we finally have a chance to sit down on the phone and do some gabbing after your daughter's weekend, we can plan something. But a lot happened. It was just so many things I can't even describe, but I was in an even better place than normal when I came home.
So was I. Honestly, yes, my daughter's wedding is this weekend, and we have family here, and I almost consider it not doing the show today because we have her rehearsal dinner tonight, actually, in a few hours.
Oh, gosh.
And rehearsal dinner. Yet, there was an incident. There were 2 incidents that happened at the wedding or before the wedding that, if I wasn't a positive person, could have easily brought me way down and put me in a bad place.
Oh, boy.
And one of the incidences, it bothered me, but it didn't affect me, if that makes sense. The other incident bothered me and affected me, and it took me a while to recalibrate.
Okay.
But I don't think many people notice that it bothered me because I was able to pretty much put on a positive face.
I didn't
I
notice.
want to share those, again, like you said, when we're able to sit down and talk and discuss a lot of the things, we can actually share with our listeners and share in the book that Ann and I will be writing. We can share how to get through some of those difficult times when you're trying to celebrate and you're trying to be in a positive mode and create positivity and love, that you can't let spilt milk ruin your day.
No, I call that the naysayers and the Debbie Downers. And sometimes they got such a strong will to just get in there and put just a little jolt in your good mood and positivity. But that's where I always have to remember that's their own projection. And
Right.
it's sometimes tough to ignore it. But I will tell you, I would never have thought anything different on your wedding day. Not at all.
Yeah, and good. I'm glad. We definitely had a great time, though. I will just tell you, the people that were able to attend and flew from all over in the United States. We had friends from New York, Washington, D.C., the state of Washington, Arkansas. I can't even tell you, Texas, all over Texas, Florida, friends from California, family from Oregon. It was such a special moment to have so many people travel from all over the United States to be with us on our special day. It was a blessing, a true blessing.
Well, I wouldn't have missed it for the world. I really wouldn't have. I was really grateful to be there.
Oh, I'm so grateful you were there. I'm so grateful, just like you said, when you walked in the door and said, at the lobby of the hotel, and said, Jamie, I thought, who would be calling me in this hotel? And then there you were. No way. And I think that was probably the best embrace I had all day.
I did not even know that Jamie was staying there. I really didn't know you were staying there till the next morning when you asked me for breakfast. And I'm like, where? At the hotel? And you're like, we're staying here. And I'm thinking, what are the odds? Everything was just so perfect that whole week. I don't really think much went wrong that couldn't have been gotten through.
Right.
I'm glad you guys had a great week while I was here in New Jersey, thinking positive thoughts.
Jonathan, it probably went so well because you were sending us positive energy.
Why, thank you. Nobody's ever said that to me before.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people who couldn't be there and weren't with us, we definitely felt their prayers and their energy and their well wishes and their positive reinforcement. I believe in the power of prayer, which is energy. I believe that helps so many people get through difficult times or stressful times. And a wedding can be really stressful.
Especially the kind you had.
Go ahead.
No, especially the kind of wedding you had.
I don't want to go down that religious rabbit hole, but I do believe in the power of prayer, and I do believe in God.
Absolutely.
God may be different for different people, but I believe there is a higher authority. And the funny thing about the power of prayer is you can say anything you want. You can apologize to God and say, because I've done it. I said, oh my God. There, I just did it. Sorry I said that, God.
I do too.
But you can say whatever you want. And being able to say whatever you want helps you get through almost anything, I think. And that's where I agree that prayer, meditation,
same thing.
Never should be neglected.
No.
Because it helps ground you. It helps stabilize yourself. Balance. Mm-hmm. We talk about balance. It helps you keep your balance. And I think that's really important for everybody. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we probably should.
So before we go, I just wanted to, give a shout out to simplygopure.com. Check it out. Check out Brett Lamone. What they're doing for people is pretty amazing.
Living your best life. They're helping them with.
They're helping people live their best lives. So, we
Jonathan.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I wanted to say thank you for your last statement about balance and everything. And I think that's a great way to end on living your best life, is to keep balance in your life.
I think
And with that, I'll let you guys do the closing. And thank you to our audience and listeners. We appreciate you. And we will talk to everyone next week, Thursday.
Okay. Goodbye, Jamie. I love you, and we'll catch up next week. And best wishes for your daughter's wedding this weekend.
Take care,
Thank
Jamie.
you, and love you both. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye, Jamie. And on that note, I guess we are going to get ready to say goodbye to all of you. Thank you for everyone who listened in today or who will be listening later. Feel free to post comments to us. Next week, we'll be talking a little bit more about living your life's purpose. Thank you, Jonathan, for being here again today. I'm wishing you all lots of love and light and dreams come true. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week at 1 o'clock live on hamiltonradio.net.
Take care.
There is a dreamer who lives in a world of endless possibilities, with never-ending boundaries. The dreamer has a passion, burning desire, dares to reach higher and higher while running from a